Erin. Thank you so much for speaking with me today. I'm really excited to hear your answers to the questions that I've created. I think you have a really special online presence and just like a really cool vibe and a cool confidence to you. So I thought that you'd be a really special person to talk to just about like skincare and confidence and just like body confidence and stuff. So
Oh,
yeah,
thank you. That's so nice.
yeah. Well, thank you for being with me today. So I really appreciate it. Um, so yeah, since virtually meeting you, so we've met, like we've DM'd and stuff on
Yeah.
Insta. And I've always been like amazed at your presence that you have online. I think you have such like a strong, like female presence, which I think is so like awesome for today.
Thanks.
Um,
I really
so,
appreciate that.
yeah, I have some questions for you that I've made. First question is I've like seen all your photos on Instagram, and I always am like, oh my God, her skin is so nice and just like porcelain and like smooth. Do you have any like product tips or stuff you do in the shower for like helping you with that really glowy skin?
Um, Thanks. Well, I appreciate that because I don't always feel like my skin looks good, but I usually do like a pretty basic skincare routine. I use Dr. Jart like products, and then I like to kind of use one of those like light um kind of electric like rubber exfoliant things to get all
Hmm,
my makeup off in the shower, and then I just like exfoliate with a more intense scrub twice a week. So yeah, that's what I typically do.
nice. And do you like do you shave like your legs and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Because I feel like your legs are always like so perfect.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so now more into like the deeper kind of questions. So as I said before, I can tell you're like very confident in your skin, and like I think that's really special. And I feel like a lot of people are always like, I wish I was more confident. Was there a moment like that kind of changed it for you? Like, did you always have this kind of confidence, or was there like one point where like, stuff changed for you and you became more confident?
That's a good question. I think it kind of changed for me when like I moved away to Australia for a year and a half, and like when I moved there, I kind of um got to just start fresh and like be I kind of felt like I could just be my authentic self. I literally stopped drinking alcohol. I stopped eating meat. I went through a breakup. I started going to the gym and then just taking better care of myself. And everyone was kind of doing like the whole influencer like fitness blogging thing in Australia, and I just was like, I started taking photos. I didn't really care what people thought. I just kind of went for it. And, I had a really good like gym routine and eating schedule. And I think that's where it started like feeling healthier from within. And then I just felt like when I put stuff out there, people reacted well to it. And it just gave me the confidence to like just keep trying to do better and better for myself.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel like that's important to like get on a good routine, just
Yeah.
so that like, you're keeping yourself in check, I feel like.
Yeah. It's hard to feel confident and good when you kind of feel like shit.
Yeah, so true. And I feel like by not drinking, that like helps a lot just because
Yeah,
you get like, I feel like when I drink, I get like the drinking downs the day after, and I kind of just like feel like shit.
exactly. It gives
Yeah.
you anxiety and like
Hmm.
no judgment. I just don't think it works for me. And I always felt like my skin was like dry after and like would break out the next day. And when I went there, I just decided like the first time I met people, they're like, oh, come have a drink. And I was just like, oh, I don't drink.
Wait,
Like,
that's awesome. Do you still not drink?
yeah, I don't. I haven't in like
Wow.
3 years.
Wow. That's like good for you. How old are you, if you don't mind me
I'm
asking?
27.
27. Got
Yeah.
it. Wow. So that's probably definitely so healthy for you. Like I feel like every other 27-year-old is like drinking and
Yeah.
going to bars every night and stuff. So wow. Okay, so to add on to that question, like in your opinion, oh, I guess you kind of answered this, but I have here, what is the secret to confidence? But you kind of answered that, but is there anything you want to add?
I think just like grasping the fact that not everyone is gonna like you or like what you like or like even try to see the good in you or your personality, and like you can't really let hate or judgment or opinions of other people like make up how you feel about yourself. Like you can't let that form your own opinion of yourself. Like your worth, you're a good person and what you bring to the table. And I think that like just kind of ignoring that. I mean, don't not acknowledge like criticism and like feedback, but like if there's just hating people, I think a lot of people don't have confidence because they're too concerned about maybe like others. And I don't
Mhm,
know, I just think you just have to own it and know that you're valuable.
mhm. So true. I feel like a lot of it comes from other people too, just like scared of like judgment and like what
Yeah,
other people will think. Yeah, I gotta
exactly.
be better at that too. I feel like that's hard for like women, especially.
For sure, there's always someone that isn't gonna like what you wear, your hair, your makeup, how you look, your weight, your skin. Like it's just
Mhm.
a lot.
Yeah, so true. Um, so my next question is, what for you is like the most important part of like your self-care routine? So like it doesn't have to be skincare related, but just more like, what helps you relax, what's important to you that you do for yourself, like self-care wise.
I really like to read. I like to listen to like true crime podcasts and then read like kind of thriller books. And I find like doing a face mask, I like to just take my makeup off, put on comfy clothes, do a face mask, and read or listen to a podcast. And I just feel totally like happy and calm. And it's just good to like regroup for me.
Mhm. I love that. Do you have like a favorite book or something you're reading right now?
Um, I just finished reading Turn of the Key and The Push, and they
Gosh,
were
I've
both
heard of
really,
that.
yeah, it's so good. Oh, and The Guest List, I just read that. I
Okay.
kind of stick to like books that have like crazy plot twists and they're kind of like dark, that type of thing. I don't know. That's my self-care.
I love that. I really want to read The Push. Like I swear people talk about it a lot. I think
Yeah,
I
it's
should read
so
it.
good.
Okay, I need to read it. Is it scary?
Um, not like scary. It's just like ominous. It's just
Right.
like a little bit dark and like a little bit depressing, but really interesting.
Okay, I know I totally need to read that. That's so fun. Okay, next question is, what is something you wish you could tell like your 16-year-old self?
Um, I think just that the problems that I would think were the absolute end of the world, like, what happened at a party on the weekend, or like getting grounded, or getting your phone taken away, or not being able to like go to a cottage or something, is just really nothing in the grand scheme of life. And I feel like a lot of stress and tears and fights were caused over like issues that you just you just don't see the world how like you as you get older you just realize the issues you made were so minuscule. And I just wish I could say like just get over it and
It
stop
doesn't matter. Yeah.
crying. That doesn't matter. Like
Mhm.
stop being dramatic.
Yeah. So true. Like in when you're like 16, you think everything is like the end of the world.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a boy doesn't like you and your whole world is like
Mhm. Shatters.
yeah.
That's so crazy. Um, okay. Did you ever get any like skincare advice or anything from like a parent or like your mom, your grandma? Did you have that kind of relationship?
Um, my mom definitely not. She she just doesn't wear sunscreen. She doesn't
Mm,
know what's good. But my grandma, on my dad's side actually was always the one telling me like keep it simple. Like she would tell me just wash your face with water and use a water-based
mm,
moisturizer. She used to use like Nivea, I think, and
mm.
she had really good skin even in her
Wow.
80s. So I kind of like whenever I'm doing too much and getting carried away, I'm like, keep it simple, like
Yeah,
stop doing too much.
totally. Wow. Does she wear sunscreen? Your grandma?
I think she did, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like when you're older and you have nice skin, like you
Yeah.
must have worn sunscreen.
There were no sunspots. It was very like
Wow.
even toned, you know?
Mhm, totally.
Yeah.
Like people really don't understand like how important sunscreen is.
I know. I just started getting into it in the past like 2 years, probably from you, to be honest, because you were always posting
Hey,
the skincare at
yeah.
drugstores,
Mhm.
like the do's and don'ts, right?
Yes, yes.
And I'm like, you know what? I really need to start incorporating sunscreen into my daily, not just when I'm on a trip or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
And like I think what the biggest part of it is that like yeah, like you could get like cancer or melanoma, but it's also preventative. Like wrinkles are from the sun. I don't
yeah,
want fucking wrinkles. I know you don't want wrinkles. Like
no,
it's a preventative thing, you know? Like it literally is the key to like anti-aging with
yeah,
screen, you know?
exactly. And the uneven skin tones and the dark spots and the, I can notice like on my arms where I used to put like oil and stuff, there's like
Yeah.
freckles, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, stop.
Yeah. It's crazy. The sun is so scary. Okay, so I guess this is related to what is like the best piece of skincare advice you've received that you like use now or incorporate into your routine?
Um, like one, the sunscreen thing, like I put on Supergoop glow
Mm,
screen. So I put
love
that
it.
as like my primer.
Yeah.
And it's SPF 40. So I feel like I've been using that now for like a year, and I feel like that's key. And also when I'm getting like, I went to a dermatologist and I was getting like perioral dermatitis around my like mouth when I would be like really stressed out. I was
Mhm.
getting like little like rashes, and she was kind of like trying to get to the bottom of it. And I realized I was just doing way too much. Like
Yeah.
my coping was like putting on more stuff and doing more masks and different products and testing out samples. And she was like,
Yeah.
stop. And just until this goes away, like use CeraVe or whatever, and just a simple moisturizer, and then you can go back into your regular, but like you need to dial it back. So I
Yeah.
think just not overdoing it and putting on really harsh products and chemicals and just stripping your skin and trying to get rid of acne. I feel like that's really key for me because I do have like obsessiveness about,
Yeah.
blemishes and stuff
Oh my
like that.
God. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
So hard. Like I actually hate when I like around my period is when I break out the most around my mouth and I hate
Yeah.
it. It's just the worst. Like
I know.
you notice it way more than like anyone else does, but
I
it just
know.
sucks.
People probably don't ever notice that, and like anyone looks different to them, but you could have a day where you're just like, oh my God.
Yeah, no, it's so true. We're all our own biggest critic, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so the next question is more about like beauty standards. So I know I'm like a pretty big fan of like the Kardashians and like
Yeah.
their life. I think it's cool. I like their outfits, like their bodies are crazy.
Me too. Yeah.
Do you think that they portray like a pretty unrealistic and maybe dangerous like you know beauty standard for women or
I
men
I
too?
like I'm mixed because I do think it's out of hand. Like I think that people are with the editing and the plastic surgery and the filler, and like it's not even, it's like you just grow up thinking like how do I get a BBL? Like how do I get the money to get this or this or this?
Yeah,
And it's just like you think you don't even have a chance at that life if you like don't look like that. And I think it is a little bit like sad to see if you're in such a vulnerable age group. And like
yeah,
now I think we're a little bit more able to be like, well, they can do that and I can do this and I'm still valuable and whatever. But I think it is a little dangerous to like not really admit certain things maybe, and say like eating healthy or going to the gym or whatever might lead to looking like that when you just have no chance. And
yeah.
like I don't know, it's but I also in a sense feel like, do you owe it to other people to like be honest? Like, do you, or can you just do whatever you want to do? I'm
Mhm.
not really sure how I feel about that. Like, should they be telling everyone every single thing they've had done, or is that just going to bring them more hate?
Yeah, no, that's so true. I feel like there's definitely two sides to it. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you have a personal choice and like you don't have to tell people. But yeah, I feel like you gotta, to an extent, you have to be honest. It's to an
Yeah.
extent. Do you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
you can't be saying you got this all from working out.
Exactly.
You know, that's the part that I don't like is like you can't say like, oh, I got this body from working out and eating healthy, but it's like it's not just from that, you also got a BBL,
Yeah.
you know? So it's
Or the
like,
whole like their skin and the Photoshop, and like they're like saying, oh, use my exfoliant, it'll
yeah,
have skin like this. And it's like, well, you have a facialist that lives in your house. So like, let's
literally.
not lie.
Yeah. And like thank God now like we know that and we see that.
Yeah.
I'm worried for like younger girls who like don't, don't really understand that like their
Me
lives are
too.
not normal, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do, like, I agree with you. I watch it for entertainment, and I find like the way they live and the way they just like come out in their fits and just gossip, I find it like comical, and I like
Yeah.
watching them, and I don't hate them.
Yeah.
I think sick if you can be famous from literally doing nothing and then create billion-dollar businesses from that, then by all means, I'm not jealous. Like I'm like, damn, good for
Yeah.
you.
Good for
I want to
you.
be like doing shit like that too. But yeah, I am kind of like, this is a little bit much for our younger generation. Like, I don't know how to prevent it, but
Yeah. And social media, I feel like doesn't really help too.
no,
Hmm.
it's at your fingertips to just see the craziest edited photos with Facetune and all that, and then be
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm ugly, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So I want to talk a bit like more of like your business, the business side of things for you.
Mhm.
So I know that you used to do OnlyFans.
Yeah,
Are you still doing OnlyFans?
I am. Yeah, I can't have it like in my Instagram bio or anything like that because they're
Right.
so strict now, and they take um any story like you mention it or you use the word OnlyFans or link in bio or any of that, they remove it. And I was shadow banned for like a year. So like you couldn't even find me if you type my name in. You had to type the full thing in, not spelling anything incorrect. And then I would come down like way at the bottom.
Really?
Yeah. So like I took it out of my bio and I just put my Twitter link in my bio, and then it's attached to my Twitter because there's way less rules and guidelines on Twitter.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So what are like for people who don't know, like can you explain kind of like what the format is, like how OnlyFans works, like how often you post content or like just the format of it and stuff?
Yeah, so it's just a platform kind of similar to like Facebook, where it's a feed, like it's a wall post type thing. You have a feed, you can go live on it, you can DM and message people privately. And I try to post like once a day on my main feed and spend a few hours a day like chatting with people and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And it's just kind of like a subscription
Mm.
to monthly to get to know people that you might not otherwise have a chance to like interact with or see more content that they're unable to post on other platforms, and you pay like whatever they set their price to, and that gives you access to, converse with them, like exchange photos, talk, comment on their photos. It's more of like a personal like relationship.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I know that you were just saying they recently changed some of their like restrictions or their policies.
Yeah, they did. So there was like rumors and buzz that they were like going to be limiting the amount of like explicit content on there, and it
Mhm.
was going to be more PG and like redirected into maybe more of like a fan with a creator type vibe, like more directed at like celebrities.
Oh, I
And
see.
we're gonna like kind of kick out the smaller creators because that how they make their money is explicit content pretty much. But the reason behind that was just because the banks weren't supporting the payment process on OnlyFans because of issues they had with like legal things on porn websites. So they
Mm,
were having issues with like inappropriate age groups and stuff being sold or like being posted and left on porn websites, and the banks just stopped supporting all those websites because they were essentially doing illegal things.
right.
So they categorized OnlyFans kind of like with them, and we're like, we're not supporting any of this because people were on OnlyFans doing similar stuff like that and using it to like meet up with people, which is super illegal. And
Yeah.
they were like, I don't know, they just weren't using it correctly. And so
Okay.
the banks kind of backed out, but then I'm not sure how it got resolved, but we just got another email saying that they take it back and and it's fine and continue as normal. So
Interesting.
yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I think it's a really cool platform. Like I don't know much about it, but I think it's a really like pretty groundbreaking thing.
Yeah, it's cool. I really like it. I like creating content, and I don't really like how the rules are, they're a little bit weird on Instagram. Like,
Yeah. Have you like had stuff taken down from Instagram?
yeah, but it's random stuff. I've had quite a few stories taken down and then like the odd post, but
Yeah.
the ones that I always think like I'm really pushing the guidelines here, they don't seem to get taken down. And then there'll be like one where I'm like, this is cool. And it'll be like a silhouette of like the side of my body and it'll get taken down.
So interesting. I
Yeah.
wonder if it's like a computer that like is programmed to look for certain things, like a bunch of
Yeah.
skin. I don't know how it works, but
I
like
don't
I
really know
wonder.
either. Or it might be like the amount of people that report it. I'm not sure.
Mm, do people report you a lot?
Oh yeah.
Um, so like, do you ever get people like in your DMs like yelling at you?
Yeah, on like on TikTok a lot more though. Like people
Really?
are really savage on TikTok. Yeah.
Jeez.
I'll mostly just I don't get that much on Instagram. It's
Hmm.
mostly nice,
Yeah.
but the odd person will just be a hater, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just gotta be like
Yeah.
haters, you know?
Mhm.
Okay, so what like in terms of like business or personal life, what are your next steps? Like what are you looking forward to in the future? I know you launched your nipple ring company called
Yeah.
Seraphina, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like how's that going? Like what are you excited for about that? Like what are you looking forward to?
It's going really well. I love it. I'm so excited. I kind of started it because I kept getting asked like about where I was getting my jewelry. And then I was like, you know what? I need to get in on this. Like I'm telling everyone to go get them from somewhere else. I'm just going to start making them. So I started off with like 4 products, and then now I want to do more. I don't want to get too into like the basic jewelry that everyone's making, like rings, earrings, necklaces, but I want to do some more like niche stuff, kind of like waist chains and cool like anklets and things, and um more drops of different nipple rings and stuff, maybe body jewelry, things like that. So I'm
Cool.
working on that now. I'm just like going back and forth with my production person to make some other body jewelry. So I'm really excited about
Oh,
that. Yeah.
that's so fun. I've seen a few, like I love the nipple rings. I think they're so cool.
Thank you.
Love like the angel one. And I swear there's like a heart one that's really cool
Yeah,
too.
the
Yeah.
heart with the arrow. I really like.
Yeah. So did you design them?
Yeah, I did.
Cool. So what was the process like? So did you kind of like reach out to someone and they're like with an idea and they were like, okay, send us some designs or
Yeah, I kind of went on the internet one day in quarantine and was just searching for like Toronto jewelry makers.
hmm,
And I found this girl named Erin as well. And she has like a little business on King Street, and she has like a jewelry shop, and she makes like boutique, like little fine gold jewelry. And I just really liked the way I saw a lot of like little chains, and it was just good quality on her website. So I like reached out to her and we started emailing, and then I kind of sent her like I would send like 3 or 4 photos and be like, "Can you take parts of all of these and make one like this?" And
Mhm.
then she would send me back like an example, and we kind of went back and forth, and then finally she designed them on CAD and like made the molds and everything like that, and then I approved like all the measurements because it was she had never made nipple rings before, so she didn't really know how long or whatever they were supposed to be. So it took a while, like a few months, and then she gave me the samples. Then we changed a few things, and then yeah, that's how it
Cool.
went.
That's so exciting. I'm always like really amazed by like the process of like product design and like how it goes from like a design to like an actual product. That's
No, it's true. It's so like you don't realize the process when you see companies start. You're like, oh, like that's cool. But then when you start getting in on it, it's like one thing after the other that you didn't even like
yeah.
know you had to do.
Yeah. So I bet you're like learning so much just along the way.
Yeah, I'm learning patience as well.
Oh
Takes
yeah.
so long. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so nice. That's pretty much all I had to ask you, but that's is there anything else you want to kind of bring up or talk about?
No, that's pretty much it. I really also look up to your social media presence, and I love
Oh,
your skincare tips and everything like that.
thank you so much.
Of
Sorry.
course.
I'm
I
trying-
really just think that they're so helpful, and you just really give good advice. You've tried it all, and you're just trying to share your knowledge and
Thank
help people with
you.
their skin. Yeah,
I
it's
really
great.
appreciate that. That's like so sweet of you to say. Thank you.
Of
I
course.
kind of like my whole thing was during quarantine, I kind of just was like, I'm gonna be bored. This is something I like.
Yeah.
Why like I just kind of started that account and like it's just grown into something really special for me. So that means a lot
Yeah,
of
you
me.
have great skin, and a
Thank
lot of
you.
people are very confused like about ingredients and products, and it's just so helpful.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really
No
do.
worries. Well,
Thank
thanks for
you.
interviewing me. That was
Cheers.
awesome.
That was so fun. Yeah. So you're in Toronto. Like we should do something at some point. I'm here.
Yeah,
Mhm,
let's do it. Let's
yeah,
get coffee.
coffee. I'm so down.
Okay, I'll
Thank you so
message you.
much, Erin. I really
Of
appreciate it.
course.
So awesome. And you've such a good vibe. And I wish you like all the best in the future with your business and everything. So thank you so much.
Thank you.